welcome to another video by Shadow Reviews. And today we're going to be reviewing this Bionicle Transformers MOC, or Bioformers MOC as it may be called. And this guy's name is Spinflame, which I actually came up with since the build of this guy. So anyway, this dude is obviously he's a helicopter. He's very red and gold, which may be a familiar color scheme. And he has some silver up front. He's a pretty respectable looking helicopter. He looks like a helicopter, kind of like this big pod section up here, and then just the tail back here, with no rotor on the back, because I didn't know how to put that on any effective way. Anyway, yeah, I mean, he's a bit gappy over here, just because of how it's constructed and how everything's positioned. But it's not too big of a problem. In the front, he looks pretty good. Has his nice nose. Got the silver. Hands are kind of obvious, but whatever. Back, back view, and his rotor actually does spin, since it's on a it's an axle going through a pin hole, so it spins really nicely. Before I speak about that, here is the head. It's up front, but it's pretty well concealed by this, and so you only see the top of it. And yeah, got some silver on the side. It's pretty respectable. It makes good use of the weapons, so the weapons are stored in kind of necessary ways, or just ways that makes them really necessary. It's just an effective weapon storage. As you watch the build already, this becomes a shield. This is a sword. So yeah, they're stored in pretty effective ways, and he's pretty good looking. Not too much I don't enjoy about him, because he's just awesome. His propeller spins. Oh, one thing that's a little bit, annoying with him, if you spin the propeller this way, like this, then you shouldn't have any problems, because this is on a hinge, just because of how the head mold is, so it can do that. If you spin it this way, it's fine. But if you spin it the other way, then it starts wanting to... Well, now it doesn't want to do it, but if you do spin it that way from all the way out here, it'll start flopping forward, so that is a bit annoying. But I do have this rotor connected in an interesting way. So instead of putting on something else, I just actually connect it to the head. As you can see, this is connected to the head. Looks kind of odd in robot mode, but so yeah, it looks a bit weird in robot mode, and this is actually supposed to go with the weapon. But it's not too bad. It's kind of concealed, because this actually does fall back a little bit farther than robot mode. One thing that you do need to note is that when you have this guy in his vehicle mode, this section needs to rest on this chest piece, or else it flops back too far and the rotor actually interferes with this. So just be aware of that. And yeah, pretty respectable vehicle mode. Pretty nice. I would compare him with another Bionicle in vehicle mode, but I don't think that's really necessary in the vehicle mode anyway. But let's get to transformation. So it's actually pretty simple, and yeah, so you're going to take these arms and you're going to fold them out just like that and put them down, because this is his chest, so just put them down like that. And this is about as far as they'll go, and I'll talk about that in the robot mode, but just do that. And then what you want to do is you're going to fold this out. Now it'll reveal the head. You can just spin that around just like so. Try not to knock off his mask. And there you have it. Next you can take these legs and you can fold them out like so. Just straighten them out. And there you have it. And the same thing on the other side. Just like so. Just fold this back a little bit so you can straighten out the legs fully. Next, what you want to do is just kind of fold that down. You're going to pull this back, move these out of the way, and then rotate this around just like so. Then you're going to pull this back even more, and you're going to grab it right here, and you're going to fold up as far as it can go, just like so. And there you have that. Next, what you want to do is just kind of move this back a little bit more, and you're going to fold this all the way down. Then you're going to fold this like this. This goes up like this, and these just kind of go on the sides like so. And there you have it. Next, what you want to do is just fold this up and take off this gold blade and this part right here, just like so, and just fold this all the way up like that. Then just straighten everything out, and just hold on a sec, guys. Just let me adjust a few things so I can get him to stand. And there you have Spinflame in his robot mode. And you know, he's pretty nice. It looks a lot like Tahu, like I did say or mentioned in his build review. But you know, that was kind of accidental when I built him. I guess I just wasn't paying enough attention. I made him look way too much like Tahu. I mean, there are some differences, mostly up here and the chest piece, but that's about it. So yeah. So oh, hit the camera. Let me just fix this real quick. So yeah. So just one quick edit. You move this up as far as it can go. Just kind of splay this out a little bit so you can get this farther back. It does kind of make it more of a backpack, but it does also let you put the legs, you know, completely straight like this. So just you know, do that if you want to. But yeah, Spinflame robot mode looks like Tahu, and like I said, there's the horn on his head. Let me angle up just a bit more so you can see. It's kind of hard to see with the bright lights, but it's right here, and just straight on you can't really see it, which is pretty good. So it's not too obvious. And here he is. You know, only thing about him that he does have this backpack, and I don't think it would be so bad if this one is just sticking out all this way out there. If I could get this like more folded up onto his back, like really far, then I would. But as of now, there is absolutely no way to do that. You just kind of have to deal with it. I mean, you could just move this down if you wanted to do some stuff where he needs a smaller backpack, but for now, this is this. But you know, yeah. So moving on to his articulation, his arms go up about that far, not back much, because this little foot thing, it interferes with his arm, so he can't go back like that. But he can do this about like that. He can go up, and he can go out about that far. And it's just all because of this. It just gets in the way of his arm. He bends at the elbow about 90 degrees, and he has all the hand articulation he needs. Now moving on to the legs, they go forward, they go back, out, in a little bit, bend at the knee pretty far, and then you know you got all your foot stuff. And now, last but not least, the head. Just let me get in the stand real quick. The head can turn left about that far, turn right about that far. You can go up about that far, not down very much, but you can get them looking, you know, pretty down. And yeah, and the head articulation actually can be opened up a little bit if you were to hold his foot pieces again and just let me see, move it down. Let me get this. And just rotate that down a bit, and you can get them looking further left and right. But I keep it all the way up so that it doesn't interfere quite as much with the arms, or just decrease the backpack size mostly. Because, I mean, that's just nuts. That's like one of the worst backpacks I've ever seen on a Transformer. But yeah, you know, he's pretty cool. And you can give him his weapons. Now the way I have it is that he holds his golden katana in his left hand, but you can change that, and his shield in his right hand. So to attach the shield, you take this piece, which was stored on the tail in robot mode, and attach this like so. And that does put some spin on it if you just hold it like that, but when it's in his hand, it doesn't quite work as well. You see, because if you spin it and the grooves on the end of the hand just kind of get in the way. You can see that, you know, it's the shield's rubbing up against those grooves. So just kind of keep this like straight up and down or something like that, and you should have no problem with him holding it. There you go. Now, one thing I did notice is that posing this guy with his shield is kind of awkward. Because, I mean, well, I guess I could try and show you doing stuff like this, you know, and then having him have his shield. I guess that's not too awkward, but there have been poses I've tried where this thing is just kind of awkward in its posing. But yeah, there's your look at a Spinflame. It's pretty good. A little bit limited in the arms, which is, you know, I guess it's not that terrible, but, you know, limitations are not exactly fun. But yeah, here he is. And I suppose if you want it, you could give him Tahu swords, or just use this character as Tahu, period, if you switched out the chest piece. But I think Spinflame is pretty cool. The only thing that's really down is the backpack. The lack of armor articulation doesn't bother me all that much, since I guess I don't use it like as much as I would. And you can put his propeller on his head in robot mode if you want to do that, but that looks kind of goofy. I mean, you can just imagine that, a guy with a propeller, like not just a small one, a huge propeller on his head. But yeah, you know, pretty simple dude, pretty straightforward. Looks like Tahu. He's not Tahu. He's Spinflame. And yeah, so before I forget, let's go ahead and do a comparison between this guy and an official Bionicle build. Here is Kopaka. Let me get him to stand real quick. And there he is. Move his shield down so you can see his face. And as you can see, they are, you know, aesthetically, they look like Bionicle together. And that is kind of what I'm going for with these, to make them Bionicle mocks, not just different types of Hero Factory mocks. So, there is your look at Spinflame, my review. And, yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe for more mock content, and I will see you guys later.